All right, let's get right into it. We're about to explore a story that, if true, means our entire history is a lie. We're talking about a theory that suggests everything we know about our own origins, our evolution, even our future. It's not just wrong, it was all part of a plan. And this is the line that kicks it all off. It's a chilling statement supposedly made back in 1999 during an interview between a journalist and a being who claimed she wasn't human. The implication here is just staggering. What if we're just the latest model in a long line of prototypes? And yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? If we're number 7, what in the world happened to the others? Well, to even begin to answer that, we first have to talk about who is supposedly delivering this absolutely radical message.
This entire story comes from a set of documents that came to be known as the Lacerda Files. They're said to be transcripts from an interview with a being named Lacerda, and she claimed to be part of an ancient, intelligent reptilian species that has been living on Earth for millions of years, totally hidden from us.
Lacerda called her species the Tern. And according to her, they aren't visitors from some other planet. No, they are the true natives of Earth who evolved here long, long before humanity ever came along. They supposedly went underground after a global catastrophe and have just been watching us from their hidden cities ever since. And this is where the story completely flips the script on everything we've ever been taught. The core claim here is that human evolution is a myth. The theory says we are not the product of natural selection. Instead, we are the direct result of repeated genetic engineering by an alien race. And who were our creators? According to Lacerda, they were a species called the Elim. They came here from the Aldebaran star system, not to conquer us, but to mine Earth's resources, specifically copper. And to do that, well, they needed a workforce. And their process, wow, it was brutally efficient. They didn't get it right on the first go. They started with primitive apes, messing with their genetics to create a species that could work for them. But as you can see, if a version became too smart or developed what they considered a flaw, the Ilum would just wipe them out and start the whole process over. A really cold, brutal cycle of creation, testing, and total extermination. So where's the proof? Well, the theory claims it's been hidden in plain sight this whole time. Those ancient marvels we can't explain, like the Great Pyramid or the underwater Bimini Road, they aren't ours. They're leftovers from these older, more advanced versions of humanity. And those great flood myths you find in almost every culture, that was just the Elim hitting the reset button to get rid of version 6. So here's the kicker. Our entire technological revolution, from stone tools to space travel in such a short time, wasn't our own doing. The story suggests that the Elim put genetic triggers in our DNA. These triggers activated at a set time, causing our intelligence and our abilities to just explode. We didn't invent the computer. It's like the code was already written into our cells, just waiting to run. Okay, but this begs a huge question. Why Earth? Of all the planets in the galaxy, why was ours chosen for these experiments? And why was a simple metal like copper so important that multiple alien races would be interested in it? It all comes down to copper having these incredible, almost magical properties. According to the Lacerda Files, if you subject copper to a very specific type of electromagnetic field, it can create forces that actually manipulate gravity itself. This is supposedly the secret behind how advanced alien spacecraft fly. Now, long before our so-called creators, the Elim, even showed up, Earth was already the prize in a massive, devastating war. The conflict was between a humanoid race called the Prawn and another reptilian species. And to be clear, this is a different group from Lacerda's native species. This ancient war pretty much set the stage for everything that happened next. And this war didn't end with a peace treaty. It ended with a weapon of unimaginable power, a copper fusion bomb. The story claims its detonation is what actually caused the extinction of the dinosaurs, not some asteroid. The fallout from this bomb created a nuclear winter that forced Lacerda's ancestors, the Tern, to escape deep underground. So, what does all this ancient history mean for us, right here, right now? Well, if we really are an engineered species, that means our own biology is holding secrets and abilities that have been deliberately kept from us. Lacerda claimed that we all have these incredible psychic abilities, like telekinesis and telepathy, just lying dormant inside of us. She said these traits were intentionally locked in our DNA. See, our creators, the Elim, didn't want a workforce that could read their minds or, fight back. So they just switched those abilities off, leaving us with just a tiny fraction of our true potential.
And this is where the story takes a turn and connects all this ancient lore to something very real, something that scientists are observing today, a trigger that is supposedly set to reactivate everything that was switched off.
So it's a scientific fact that the Earth's magnetic North Pole is moving. But it's not just moving, it's sprinting at the fastest rate ever recorded in human history, about 35 miles per year. Scientists aren't even totally sure why it's speeding up so much.
Well, according to this theory, that shifting magnetic field isn't random at all. It's the trigger. It's the alarm clock that the Elim set millions of years ago. It's a signal that's designed to interact with our engineered DNA and wake up all of those dormant abilities and programs. But why would they even program this great awakening? Well, the story says that Ilion had a dual purpose for us. We weren't just built to be miners, we were built to be soldiers. They programmed aggression and territorial instincts right into our DNA, designing us to defend Earth's resources from any other alien species that might show up. So the big takeaway here is that if the Ilum do return, it's not going to be an invasion to destroy us. It's the final act of their experiment. They're coming back to see their creation in action, to maybe implement the final upgrades, and to complete their work. And that leaves us with the ultimate mind-bending question. If any of this is true, and this pre-programmed activation changes our very nature, the real challenge isn't about our survival. It's about what we become when our creators finally decide to flip the switch.